Okay, welcome to Comfort Habit number 2. This is my bonus video. I'm going to make this short, sweet, and to the point. Hopefully, it teaches you something. I want to talk to everybody who is above 5'5". All right? I want to talk to everybody, mostly males, above 5'5". And I want you to understand something. I'm not picking a fight. I send warnings, not invitations. So if you take this shit seriously, you're a dumbass. There are many fights that you will encounter in your lifetime. Many of them. How you choose to deal with them is going to be the deciding factor of whether you win or whether you lose. One, the first time you look at a fighter and you see them only from the outside, you are guaranteed to get your ass beat. Without question, without remorse, you are guaranteed to get your ass beat because you're underestimating your opponent and you are overestimating your skills and your strength level. And in doing so, you can find out quick, fast, and in a hurry how wrong you are. Alright? Never underestimate your opponent by how they look. If you're looking at an opponent and they look like they are a pushover, they're probably not. And you must go and proceed with the utmost of caution, because if you don't, you will be crucified in a fight. Alright? The first time you think you can beat somebody just because you're bigger than them, you're going to fuck around and find out. You're going to play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and you may lose a few teeth. Or worse, you may even lose your sight or your life. Many people have come at me who are bigger than me. I'm 5'3.5". I am 125 pounds soaking wet. And many people have thought that they could beat my ass, and they have found out that that's not always the case. The only human being that's ever beat my ass in my life has been my older sister. That's it. And most of the time when I have sparring matches and fights, I can lose a sparring match and win a fight. Because that's generally how it works. I lose a sparring match, but I'll beat your ass in a fight because a sparring match is a learning lesson. If you lose a sparring match, it doesn't mean you suck. It just means you weren't ill prepared and you weren't straight to go. So that's why I tell people you always be prepared. That's why I keep telling people that training doesn't end when class is over. Alright? I lost a lot of sparring matches, but I ain't never lost a real fight in my life. So that's how that shit works. I'm not going to say it can't happen. I could definitely lose a real fight. But if you are prepared, you might not lose the fight. You might survive the fight, which is another thing. If you're going to fight, you fight to survive. You don't fight for wins or losers, you fight to survive. That's pretty much the gist of it. Now, I will say this. The bigger you are, the harder I am going to personally hit you. Not just because I want to, but because I have to. Just to prove to you that your size is this much of a factor to most people. But if it's like the only span you have, you are going to throw yourself into a fight that you cannot win. Because your size is going to misguide you, mislead you, and send you somewhere you don't want to be. I understand I'm not picking on people who are bigger than me. But I am giving you proper knowledge of what you're going to need to know. Oh, crap. If you ever have to fight someone who is smaller than you, like me. Because the first thing you'll do, you'll see a tiny guy like myself and be like, oh, he's nothing. I can take him. Maybe. Maybe you can't. And see, thinking that you know the outcome of a fight before the fight begins is how you guaranteed to lose. Because you don't know what that person knows until the first punch is thrown. You don't know if you're going to be able to get up from their hit. You don't know if they're going to be able to get up from your hit. You might hit them with their best shot. They might shake that shit off, and then you got to work. And this is why I tell people, the only thing your size means to me is that I got to work. That's it. I got to put in that work. I'm 125 pounds. You might be 145 pounds. I got to put in that work. I can get really lucky, and you can make a mistake. And I can hit you in your throat to solve my problem real quick, because that's exactly where I'm going for. When this fight starts and you're bigger than me, I have two ways of stopping you. I can break you, or I can unalive your shit. If you bigger than me right off the bat, I'm going to try my best to unalive you. which involves the possibility that I may have to break something on you so that I can unalive you. Alright? Now, I don't want to have to do that, but I understand something. I am 125 pounds. I am 5'3.5". That doesn't make me any less deadly. The only difference between you and me is that I gotta work harder to stop you than you have to work to stop me. Because when it comes to punching power, I already know you got that. When it comes to physical strength, I already know you got that. And you might be one of them enigma motherfuckers that might have a lot of speed that I might not have. So I have to worry about all that shit in a matter of 4.4 seconds. Because in about 4.4 seconds, there's a fist coming at me. Now, I don't know if you can do those fists, do these fists. I don't know none of that shit. But I know I can block. It looks like frailing around for y'all, but it's blocks, up, down, snake, and crane. Block to the sides, boom, 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 block down, block up. Those are still blocks. But when we get to fighting, we're going to be like this. We're not going to be doing this. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. Because I'm not going to give you any indication of what I know. I'm already going to warn you before the fight begins. I'm going to let you know that I know martial arts. If you continue to insist on going after me after that, that's a you problem. And I send warnings, not invitations. So I'm just going to have to do what I got to do. Knowing that you are bigger than me, knowing that you are stronger than me. Those are the two things I know for sure that you have over me, is that you're bigger and that you are stronger. That does not mean you are better. But it does mean I have to work. Alright? Now, again, my 70-30 rule is always in play. 70% of what you learn in the dojo only works in the dojo. 30% of what you know in the dojo will work in the street, but not in the dojo. Because they're like fail-safe plans that you can stop them. But in the dojo, you are not allowed to punch people in the throat. In the streets, there's no rules, there's no weight classes, and may the best person survive the goddamn fight. That's pretty much the gist of it right there. Now, cardio. It takes less for me to move 125 pounds around than it takes for you to move 145 pounds or 175 pounds or 280, however what your weight is. It takes more for you to move cardiovascularly than it does for me. So if you can't breathe, you can't hurt me. So if I drop kick you in your sternum before the fight begins, or I boom, kick the shit out of your sternum, not your nuts, your sternum, and you bend over and I bring my knee to your face, you won't have time to block it unless you have been properly trained. And if you ain't been properly trained, well then that's going to be a victory for me, or something that's going to at least slow you down long enough for me to either get away or for me to break every bone in your body that I can break, which is the plan. Because I can't outrun you now that I had this hip replacement. So I'm breaking your knees, I'm breaking your elbows, and whatever happens after that, that's going to be a you problem. If I can get behind you and put you in a chokehold, the rear neck and choke, the cobra clutch, or put my knees in your back and rock up, you're in right there. And why is that? Because you're bigger than me. And if you are bigger than me and I gotta work, I gotta make sure I put you down. And I'm not just gonna put you down. I'm gonna keep you down. I'm gonna make sure that you do not get the fuck back up. And if you can get back up, I'm gonna make sure that you aren't able to use your arms or your legs. Because I'm going to break your elbows and your kneecaps. I'm gonna leave you in a big fucking heap, and that's gonna be it. And it's not because I want to. It's because I have to. Understand that you being bigger than me means you got a lot more going for you than I do when this fight starts. So when this fight starts, I need to make sure that I eliminate every possibility of your victory. If I can hit you in the throat and drop you like a sack of shit, it's done. I'm not going to bother you unless you're dumb enough to get back up. If you get back up, I'm going to hit you in the throat again. And if I can't hit you in the throat, I'm going to hit you in the sternum. And whatever kind of throw you throw at me, I'm going to the outside and I'm going to break your fucking elbow. I'm not going to break your arm at the wrist. I'm breaking your elbow. Because your elbow, see how that works? Controls your fist. You can't make a fist. If you can't use it, that's one down. You're going to be stupid. You're not going to want to stop the fight because a lot of people don't know when the fight's over. I'm going to break the other elbow. Now you don't have any arms. They'll still be attached, but you won't be able to function with them properly. So after that, I'm going to break your fucking kneecaps because you more than likely won't be able to block unless you know Thai fighting. And if you know Thai fighting and you have to like stand on one or two legs at the same time and you can't use your arms because you can't lift them, I'm gonna sweep your foot. And then I'm gonna sit on your neck with my knee in it. Because you're not gonna be able to get me off of you. Once that fucking numbness comes in, you might be able to use your hands, but I don't think so. But I'm not gonna give you the fucking chance to find out. Because I'm smaller than you. I'm gonna do everything I can in my power to make sure that I stop you. And this is why when you are a very, very big person, understand this respectfully and all-heartedly. Your size only means something to you. Now, am I going to be intimidated, maybe a little scared? Yes. But you don't want me intimidated, and you definitely don't want me scared, because a scared man is far more dangerous to you than anyone else on the planet, because a scared person can do an incredible bunch of shit that they didn't even know they can do until it's done. Every fight I've ever been in, I've been a little scared. It has saved my ass every time. That being said, I'm Echo Fan Great Wolf. This is Kung Fu Ever number 2. Be seeing you. Hope I taught you something.